Okay, so what I've got here is some Baitfish fibre that I've taken out of the packet. I've cut to length, so as you can see it stacks up like that against the hook. Got some UTC thread 140 denier in a nice yellow here, which I've gone around the shank with on this hook. I've pulled a slight taper into the fibre simply by holding it in the middle, pulling the fibres as I want to get the desired taper, and then I'm simply going to offer this up to the hook. That's about where I want it. Just put a couple of wraps around just to loosely hold it, and then I'm just going to work it round the hook until I'm happy. Okay, so I'm happy with that, so now I'm just going to pull that tight around a couple of times. Okay, that's nice and solid. Okay, so now I'm just going to bring that forward a little bit, wrap them around with the thread. Don't want to go too far. Splay it out with your fingers. Okay, and then push back over. And then wrap the thread just around the front, create a cone. As you can see, it's starting to form how you want it there. Now this particular one has been requested in simply bright yellow, so that's what I'm going to go for. Obviously if you wanted other colours, then you just simply mix them up to get the desired effect as you layer them on. Bring that one back right down to near the cable tie. And this is what I explained to you earlier about pulling the fibres out. So you've got it in your fingers there, flattened out, and then it's just a question of gently teasing the fibre out to get the effect that you want for the taper. And then pulling these fibres back through like so. Some people like to comb it. I just find you get lots of static, and generally speaking you don't need to. So that's the sort of taper I'm looking for. Some people like huge long thin tapers, but that's not my taste. I'm going to flip the hook over, and then for this one I'm simply going to place it like so, so I'm getting it roughly central in the middle there, and just put a couple of wraps around just to hold it slightly. Now obviously you could do this with a standard fly, as you would expect, and you wouldn't have to worry about the lead head at the front here. But as I'm doing it for a jig fly, then I need to make sure that I take that into account, so it doesn't all group either side here and look slightly one-sided or lopsided. A couple of wraps around, nice and tight, secure it. Okay. and then I'm just going to bring that forward a couple more out there, so I can get another section in front, which helps to give you that nice bushy profile that seems so popular. And then swing it back round again. Okay. Now I'm going to take some little Deer Creek Flash. This is what you get in the Gliss and Glint, but you can also buy it separately on its own. And I'm simply going to tease it out and layer it in there, and then I'll just trim any bits that I don't want that are too long afterwards. So I'm just going to do that round, try and secure it. Obviously normally not quite so cack-handed because I'm trying to keep the camera clear, so you can see what's going on. Okay, so I'm fairly happy. Back round. And I'm just going to nip that down again there. I have to be slightly careful not to get too much thread wrapped around there, as you get a big bulky section. As my Yoda has told me repeatedly, Chris Silverthorne, fellow pro team member, taught me nearly everything I know. Okay, so I'm going to get another section of the fibre. Personally, I don't like single one-coloured flies like this. I'd much rather have a bit of contrast built into it. But it's what the customer wants, and that's what the customer gets. Okay, that's going to do me. Section there. Take the time to try and spread that out a little bit. It has a tendency to try and stack on top. Now that's okay if you want a completely narrow pattern, but I find I want a slight bit of build up in the body as well, not just a silhouette type effect. Okay, so I'm fairly happy with that. Okay, so we've got some Gliss and Glint, lemon sherbet, lovely stuff, very flashy. I tend to like to use this to highlight things more than as a single solution. Simply over the top like that. distributes it nice and evenly. Again, going in front, not behind. You just want to stop it springing back forward, like so. There you see you've got a nice taper. And slightly too long with some of these, so I'm just going to snip them off. That's looking pretty good. A couple of wraps around there. A couple of knots. As always, a little bit of tack-free resin to seal the deal. Nice and even around the front there. Little touch with the torch. The thread. Okay, a little bit of going through with the needle. You don't want to pull too hard because you don't want to pull all the flash out. At first it looks like you're sort of making a mess, but it does actually help to blend it all in, make it all look nice and neat in the long run. Of course, after it's been in the first fish's mouth, it looks like it's been dragged through a head backwards. As soon as you get it wet, it all goes back again how it should. Okay. So there's your basic fishy shape. As you can see, not a huge amount of fibre there, but it gives the nice profile, nice bit of flash, and it's just waiting for the eyes to go on now. So, should pop it back in there. So we'd actually like to go back in there. And then it's selecting suitable eyes, really. I think they'll go nicely, nice contrast. Touch of resin on the eyes. Too hard, so you don't want it too flat. Try and get it under the edge there. There that I didn't really like, so trim that. Tiny bit more resin down those next crannies there. Try and make those eyes as durable as possible. Okay, so all I've done is literally put a couple of beads behind each eye, flipped it round, done the same thing underneath, and you're left with a nice little baitfish. Nice and bright, a nice long taper to it. If you so desire, you can snip those end bits off there, tidy it up to your heart's content. But that's the basic principle. That's Deer Creek Baitfish Fibre and Deer Creek Gliss and Glint working together very harmoniously. And these lovely eyes here. These eyes are available from Jetbait Mania. Chris Chandler, top bloke. Very nice eyes. I like using them a lot. Deer Creek also have lots and lots of nice eyes. I just tend to choose what I feel at the time goes best with a particular pattern that I'm going for. So there you go. That can be cast on a lure rod. You can use a lighter jig head if you want, and use it on a fly rod. Same principle obviously as if you were tying it on a normal hook, except you don't have to worry about the jig head at the front. Remember, deercreek.co.uk for your resin, and jetbaitmania.co.uk for dubbing brushes, eyes, lures, general kit really. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.